Well, hello YouTubers, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Q&A session. And we have a lot to talk about. Some of my recent videos have raised a lot of questions in your mind. A lot of comments have come out. And thank you. I appreciate that. There's also a lot of useful suggestions and constructive criticism in the comments of the videos and some emails I've gotten from you folks. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Keep it coming. So what have we got to talk about? Well, we got to talk about the Silverstoll challenge first off. Now, as I record this, I don't know the outcome. He's only put out his first video on the challenge so far, and I'm going to be leaving town in a little while. We'll talk more about my travels later in this video. But anyway, if he finishes up and we have a result in our contest before I leave, I'll put a little blurb in this video. Add it to it. But as of now, I don't know who the winner is going to be. And really, it's just for fun. Like we've both said now. I mean, we're not working for the same batch of material, so it's really not going to tell us much. But it is fun to see how he does it versus how I do it. And I think you folks might learn a few things, too, by watching the differences between how we do things. Let's see. Why didn't I just use my ball mill like I normally do? Got some questions about that in the Silverstoll challenge. Well, my ball mill could be contaminated with gold from previous batches I've put in there. And or some of the gold from that batch could stay in the ball mill. Ball mills, they tend to accumulate gold, okay? Just about any milling operation will accumulate gold. And it can give some back at times. It can take some out at times. So I didn't want to use the ball mill. I think I would have got a better result if I'd used the ball mill. I think I could have pulverized the stuff better, done a better gravity separation on it, got rid of the carbon, which I think caused me some trouble. We'll talk more about the carbon here in a bit. But yeah, I didn't want to use the ball mill just out of concerns for contaminating the 238 grams of chips with gold from previous stuff that's run through the ball mill. The blender does a really sucky job compared to the ball mill, and I think that was probably some of the problems I had because the stuff was not pulverized nearly as fine as I was used to, and I did not get all of the black crud out of it, which I'm sure at least some of that was carbon. Okay. I probably should have kept the remains after my extractions and put them in the ball mill with my next batch of chips, as somebody out there commented. I don't remember who. Maybe a couple people mentioned that. But I was so fed up with dealing with that particular batch of chips by the time I was done, I just pitched them. I probably wouldn't have got much more out of them anyway. I mean, it's hardly measurable probably, but I'm sure there was still a little bit of gold in them. But yeah, thanks for that suggestion. In the future, if I do another one of these the same way, yeah, I will keep the remains, throw them in the ball mill, and process them another time, but didn't do that this time. Let's see. Carbon again. Yeah, carbon, I think, was my main problem, and several people chimed in the comments to agree. And if you look at the reactivity series of metals, you can put carbon in there, so well above gold. Okay, and sometimes carbon does act like a metal. So it could have been that the gold and even the platinum in there was precipitating out on the carbon when I'd let the stuff sit. All right, and I think the carbon also may have been using up a lot of the nitric acid, because carbon will react with nitric acid to produce nitrogen and carbon dioxide. And there was a lot of bubbling going on that didn't appear to be producing nitrogen dioxide. So it must have been some other gas coming out of solution. So I guess nitrogen and carbon dioxide is probably a good fit. So yes, I took a couple of shortcuts on this. I didn't use my ball mill like I normally do. I didn't do as good a gravity separation as I normally do. And even at the beginning, I didn't do as good a incineration as I normally do. I normally feed air into the crucible to make sure all the carbon gets burned up and everything's ashed really well. I didn't do that this time. I figured since there's such a small amount of material, if I just stirred it well, everything would be exposed to the oxygen, all the carbon would get burned up. but I don't think that worked this time. So I think carbon was my main problem there. Some of you wanted to see me process the platinum, but, well, I really don't think there was enough there to bother with. I was sorely tempted. I set that liquid aside that had the platinum in it, and I was like, well, maybe concentrate it down, run it through my process, see if I can get some platinum out. But well, I'm running out of time before my trip, um, and really, I don't think there's that much platinum there. So it just went into my temporary stock pot with all the other liquid, and I'll get that platinum back sometime in the future when I process my stock pot. So yeah, that's everything I got so far on the Silverstoll Challenge. Thanks for watching that. Thanks for commenting. And I know you guys are watching his end of it too, so that's great. Give his channel some love too. And like I said, if we get a result before I have to leave town, I'll put a little blurb in this video about that. Okay, moving on to the tin recovery series. Well, this has been very popular. I mean, a lot of folks out there in YouTube land have been asking me how to get the tin out of their e-waste. So now I'm up to 4 videos on that, on how to get the tin out. They've been very well received. People seem to like them a lot. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the chemistry of tin, which is a weird metal, let me tell you. I got to play with thermite, which was really fun and a little bit scary. Um, yeah, that was something else. But I got to say, it was probably only cost effective if you've got large quantities to do. Okay, if you're just doing this on a hobby scale, do it for fun. Don't expect to make any money on it. But if you've got large quantities, and we're talking thousands of pounds of circuit boards to strip the tin solder off of, you might be able to make a go of it. Although I would recommend probably trying to sell your recovered tin oxide to a refiner rather than trying to refine it yourself. I think that would probably be your best way to go, your most profitable way to go. I think you make your most money for your most bang for your buck that way by selling it to a tin refiner. They can do it on their huge scale, and you'll probably make a little bit of money on it. But hey, if you want to do it yourself, more power to you. If you improve on my process, let me know how you did it. Make a video. Let me know how you did it. All right. So let's see here. I was only partway through the tin recovery series, and I immediately started getting requests for how to recover the lead. So it's like, okay, great, you're recovering the tin. Show me how to recover the lead. I want to recover the lead too. Which is a little surprising to me because lead isn't that valuable, and there's not that much of it compared to the tin, okay? Especially in modern electronics. There's this little thing called the Rose Act, the restriction of hazardous substances. It went into effect. It was passed in 2002 and went into effect in 2006. And this is a European mandate where they have to get a lot of hazardous substances out of electronics. And those include cadmium, lead, mercury, hexavalent chromium, and a bunch of organic solvents. Now, even though this is only a European directive, manufacturers all over the world started complying with it so they could sell their stuff in Europe. So for the past 20-ish years, and even longer, the amount of lead in electronics has dramatically dropped, okay? So unless you're processing fairly old electronics, you're not going to get much lead, all right? I mean, there'll be a little bit, probably, a little bit, but I'm not sure it's enough to be worth going after. I don't think it's going to be economical to go after the lead, the little bit that's in modern electronics. But, if you want to do that, it's actually fairly easy. I mean, I can get the lead out as a byproduct of getting the tin out. So even though I said it's not economical, and you probably don't want to bother with it, there will be a couple videos coming out on how to get the lead out, okay? And how to recover it. So watch for those videos if you're interested in lead. Um, it should be interesting. It's interesting chemistry anyway, and like I say, it's fairly easy to recover. I mean, I actually showed in a previous video when I was recovering the tin, I added a little sulfuric acid to the solution first to drop out any lead as lead sulfate, because that's insoluble, just so I had a pure tin solution. And, well, that works really great for recovering the lead from electronics. You know, you dissolve the solder off the boards, filter it to get rid of the crud, add a little sulfuric acid, drop the lead out, filter it again, and then drop the tin out by neutralizing it with lye. So we can do some lead. I mean, there have been a lot of requests for that, so we will do some lead. But like I say, it probably won't be cost effective, and on a large scale, unless you're doing it on a large scale, I don't think you're going to get enough to really bother with. But all that being said, there will be some videos coming out in the future, okay? So we'll talk about other future upcoming events and videos here in a minute. Let's see, my video on my visit to Leadville, where I wanted to get up and visit the old mines in the mountains above town and do some grab sampling on the piles up there. The piles of mine tailings and waste rock and whatnot. Well, that was actually fairly well received, even though it was kind of a fiasco because I got there too late in the year and most everything was covered in snow and ice. A lot of the piles were covered in snow. The road was too icy to get up to the gold mines I really wanted to get to. So, but we still managed to look around a little bit at the lower elevations and see some interesting stuff. And some of you folks out there seem to find that was interesting. I got some good suggestions about where to go when I do get out there again, and an offer of someone, a local, Pyro Rob 69, who would like to come along with me and maybe show me around and help and do some grab sampling on the piles too. So thank you, Pyro Rob 69, for that. I may take you up on that offer. I don't know when I'm going to be in Leadville again, though. It may be autumn. It may be years from now. It's hard to say. I do get around the country, but I don't get to Leadville every year. But I'll try to remember to look you up the next time I am there, okay? Some of you have asked about my return to work and how that's going, and thank you. I appreciate that. Well, most of what I have been asked to do has been pushed off until after the first of the year. So I am actually still free to work here in my lab most of the time, but I have been cutting back on my video production just to do some other stuff that I need to do to get ready to go back to work and to get ready to go out of town for a couple of weeks, which I need to do. So there have been fewer videos coming out, but I'm hoping you can see I'm trying to put a little more effort into them and make better quality, even though the quantity is down. And I have to say the viewership seems to be up. The number of comments seems to be up. So I hope I am making better videos for you folks that you like better. Leave me a comment. As always, let me know what you think I could do better. Let me know the subjects you would like to see covered, because you guys have some really good ideas on that. I get them in the comments and emails all the time. Good ideas on what to do. Okay, so let's see. Upcoming videos. Well, we've already talked about the lead recovery. So that's a series of videos that are coming out. There may be, and I can't promise this, there may be another tin recovery video where I scale things up a lot, okay? People are requesting I do an even larger amount. I guess it's the pyromaniacs out there, the thermite fanatics, whatever. They're like, do a whole kilo or more. And I'm like, it's going to take me a long time to accumulate that much tin. But if I do accumulate that much tin oxide, well, I guess I might as well set it off in an uber huge thermite reaction, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't wind up getting the cops, the fire department, Homeland Security coming down on me. We'll see. I am pretty rural here, so maybe I can get away with it. All right, other upcoming stuff. Well, I'm going out of town, like I said a couple of times, I think, in this video. So I'm going to be gone for a few weeks. I've got some pre-recorded videos that are going to be coming out while I'm gone, including I think this one is going to come out while I'm gone, and we'll start filming new stuff when I get back. But there is some pre-recorded stuff, including some things people have asked for, including a tour of the farm. Quite a few people have asked for, I keep talking about the farm, and oh, I'm out mowing the acreage on the farm, or sorry for all the noise on the farm. There's a lot going on today. People want to see the farm, so I did record a quick tour of the farm, so that will be coming out. Got some other stuff going on that will be coming out, and when we get back, we will start on the lead recovery stuff and more gold recovery. My goodness, I am way behind on my gold recovery. It's just piling up back in my workshop. The scrap pickups have continued, and the gold is piling up, and it needs to be processed. So anyway, I keep talking about my travel and going out of town. So where am I going? Well, I mentioned this in a video earlier in the year, which a lot of you may not have seen or even remember. We are going down south, way down south. Antarctica. Okay? Yeah, we're going to Antarctica. My wife is the main driver behind this trip because she has been everywhere else. It's the only place she hasn't been. And when she sets foot on Antarctica, she'll have all 7 continents bagged. Okay? And really, I want to go to Antarctica too. I think it's going to be neat. So I was fully on board with this idea of going to Antarctica. So we're going to go to Antarctica. I think we're going to get some good video out of that. I know you guys are really not all that interested on this channel in the travel videos, but I think you'll like this one. I think there'll be some interesting stuff going on there in the trip to Antarctica. And on the way back from Antarctica, we're going to go to Easter Island and see the big moai. Yeah. And we're going to do a little astronomy, too, while we're on Easter Island, because I'm an astronomer. And Southern Hemisphere astronomy, part of the sky I've only seen once before when I was south of the equator. So, yeah, it's going to be a neat trip, and I think we're going to get a couple videos out of it, Antarctica and Easter Island. And I think you guys, even though it's really not what you come here for, most of you, I think you'll find them to be interesting videos anyway. So you might want to check them out once they're done and uploaded. And like I say, once I'm back, we're going to get back to recovering some gold and dealing with recovering some lead from e-waste and some other stuff I've got up my sleeve, but I think you're going to have to wait and see what it is. And like I said, keep your suggestions and comments coming. You guys have some good ideas, and if enough people ask for something, I'll do it if I can. And make you guys suggest a lot of interesting things that wind up being, I think, interesting and popular videos. So thanks for that. And I guess that's about all I've got for today. Thanks for watching this Q&A update. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.